So we are going to be looking at a scenario where civilization starts over. We are on episode 8, and in the last episode we had a bunch of crazy stuff happen. We had the formation of Vietnam and China, and these two are escalating in a pretty bad way. And let's get to the big part. 3 new alliances broke out in Europe. We have the Triangle Alliance, which consists of the Red Italian team, whose goal in this alliance is to retake the Italian peninsula and restake themselves as a top power in the world. The Lime team, which wants to control, well, they want to connect up with the Atlantic Sea and control a lot of Europe. Germany, which is to reclaim a lot of their lost territories and to beat down on the blue team's well, how do I put this? The blue team's like extension over Europe and their like I don't even know how to put it. The Germanic country just hates the blue country. Prussia wants to help Germany retake the lands and they want to expand along Europe. The reason Norway joined was to take over all of Sweden and to prevent Sweden from getting outside help and taking them over. Then we have the Circle Alliance, which consists of France, and their goal is to just kind of beat down on the Lime team's influence in their area because they want, well, the lands they want is kind of something like this. They want these lands, and the Lime team is kind of in the middle of it all. We have the Dutch, which wants to take over all of Germany, Denmark, and Prussia. And we have Sweden. Sweden wants to take over all of Norway and staple themselves as a big power in the world. Then we have the Square Alliance, which consists of the Blue Iberian team, the Southern Pink Italian team, and Greece. The Blue Iberian team wants to be the country, and right now they are the country. They want to take over the whole world. That is the goal of the leader. The whole world. They have colonies in Africa, and they have parts of Germany. They want the whole world underneath the blue team. The pink team wants all of Italy and all of the Adriatic Sea. It's kind of similar to the red team, but they want all of the red team and more Adriatic Sea coast than the red team. And like I said in the last video, a new leader is in the Greek country. They are set out on expansion inside of Europe. They want to show everyone how powerful Greece is and how powerful Greece will be by taking over all of Turkey, Yugoslavia, and the white team. In this episode, expect to see great expansion of the members inside of this alliance. Expect to see all of Europe. This great war is going to be called the War of Empires, and it is going to be the first major war in history. But with the staples of war rising very quickly, a lot of people who don't agree with war are going to want to flee. And they are going to have a place to flee because a new country just popped up. And this new country wants to be a world power. This new country wants to staple themselves as the greatest country to ever exist. The king of this country is going to be from the Farmers Union, and they are going to be the old leader of the Farmers Union. They tried to change stuff inside of the Farmers Union. They wanted the Farmers Union to expand, but the people there did not agree with it. The beginning steps of this country begin out here inside. That's too similar. Let me get a lighter gray. The beginning steps of this country begin out inside of the Russian Moscow area. And if you can't tell, this country is going to be the Russia of this timeline. This is the most populated country in the world already, and they just formed. This shows how many people want to keep peace inside of Europe. Many people don't want this war, but for the people who do, and the people who want expansion for their country, It wasn't just European powers who migrated here. It was people from Asia, because China, Vietnam, and Korea are kind of at each other's throats. Yes, I just said Korea, because Korea kind of wants China's coastline, but this Russian country is going to quickly expand, and they are sending out a policy of great expansion. They meet down with the Crimean country, and crap. This Russian country, big expansionist country, they want, well, to kind of be the world. So they issue out a policy of great expansion along the areas of kind of the flat area, flat plateau of Europe. But the thing is, they need ocean access, so they kind of make a quick little zoop and connect up with the Black Sea and take over Caucasian areas. And like I said, this is the most populated country in the world and in history. The amount of people that fled to this Russian country is insane. This just shows how many people do not want to have a war right now. People in the Germanic country mainly flee because they do not think Germany has the right and has the power to win a war against any of the people they border. People from the Farmers Union who wanted to expand moved to this country because they agree with the ideals of the Russian leader. For this episode, this is going to be the max territorial peak of the Russian country, and this is the biggest country in the world. Well, at least one of the biggest countries in the world, and they will be the biggest country in the world eventually. The capital of this nation is going to be right there, and wow, this just happened. A lot of countries are going to suffer from this. The Farmers Union is going to lose a ton of population, and the states that border this new Russian country are going to lose a ton of population, as well as all of Europe. Europe is going to mainly hate this Russian country because of how many people fled to it. And not only that, we see a new country, and this is going to be the Baltic Union. This is going to be the Baltic Union of this timeline. It's not going to be called the Baltic Union. Oh, crap. Like I said, it's not going to be called the Baltic Union. Crap. And here it is. The Baltic Union is now a part of our world. And their capital is actually going to be on this island. So Europe is almost completely filled in. This episode is going to be mainly focused on Europe because of all the drama that is going on in Europe. Let's pull up the alliance layer. The strongest alliance right now is the square one. They have the number 1 and number 2 strongest countries in the world. The second strongest alliance is the triangle, and the circle is kind of just there, but more people are looking to join the circle to make this more of an even fight. For example, the Turkish team. Now, why does Turkey join this? Well, Greece, the new leader, wants to take over all of Turkey because they're saying the people who moved there should be a part of Greece. And like the leader said, even more people join this. Now we have the white Romanian country joining because of the fact that Greece said they are going to expand up into the white Romanian country. But the Yugoslavian country was too late, as the Greek country declares war on Yugoslavia. Greek troops begin entering into Yugoslavia very quickly. Yugoslavia is a top 20 country in the world, but they're not much match to Greece because Greece is number 2. The red team is going to see this invasion, and knowing if Greece conquers Yugoslavia, they are going to be screwed. What the leader of the red team does, remember, she is the greatest military general. Well, not the greatest. The blue team's military general is better. Not by much, though. She is going to she is going to send her troops into this country and line up the border of Yugoslavia. Now, this country is going to act and be like, if you don't leave right now, we are going to send our troops into your borders. And the red team sits down with the leader of this yellowish-white team, and they say, if you let us use this border to get land out of Yugoslavia, we will pay you reparations of this war. We will pay you a lot of money and we will give you a lot of supplies. The white country agrees, and the invasion of Yugoslavia from the red team begins. Now, it is just a race to see who can get more of Yugoslavia before the other one takes it over, and ultimately the red team gets the capital. Here is the peace treaty. Now, as you can see, the red team now has an exclave, and what they're hoping to get is once they beat the pink team, they will be able to connect up their land. The gold team got more land out of this. That was because they conquered more land. But let me show you this part in the middle. These are puppet states. This is the red team's puppet state. This is the red Yugoslavian puppet state. And this is the gold Yugoslavian puppet state. So pretty much, it's like a country, but these countries have to send the money and stuff to the capital, or else they might face some consequences. These are mainly just buffer zones. So if, like, say the gold team invades into the red team, they will be able to, like, have more time to prepare and get stuff. But with the addition of this war, the red team and the gold team are at each other's throats. And I also have to say, this puppet state is already going to be a part of the square team, and this puppet state will be a part of the triangle team. Getting away from Europe, we see a massive exploration of this, and actually Central Europe gets fully discovered, which is a major success in humanity, because now only Siberia needs to be discovered. They have held off from exploring Africa because the Sahara Desert is blocking them, and everyone is just at each other's throats in Europe. No one cares about expansion. Sorry, no one cares about exploration. We see a new country called West China pop up. This country's capital is going to be right here. And China, surprisingly, is actually going to allow them to exist. A lot of their population moved here. And the reason they're going to allow this is because this country it might in the future join up with China. But with Vietnam, they're not going to join up with China. They absolutely hate China. But now, we have more additions to the alliances. After this, I'll do a ranking, and we'll see from there. So first off, the British Isles. Now the British Isles, they kind of hate each other, and this is going to lead to Scotland joining up on the square team. The reason is because they want all of London. They don't really care about Wales. They want London. More England. But England is going to join up with the Circles. And even though that the French team wants England as well, they're gonna accept it because they need another front line, because Scotland is going to invade England. Scotland is stronger than England. They'll be able to get through there, and by the time they get to about the capital, the blue French team is hoping they will be able to send their forces into there and knock out Scotland. Norway is happy that Scotland joined because Norway wants Iceland. Norway wants Iceland. They see a lot of hope in Iceland. They think it will be a valuable place to have. But there hasn't really been much people joining up with the Triangle Alliance until now. Because we see Vietnam joining in on the Triangle Alliance. Not only does Vietnam join in, China joins the squares, but Korea is gonna go ahead and join the circle. You can maybe start calling this a world war, but this is not a world war. This is a war of empires, because a lot of these countries classify as empires right now. And world wars, they're not going to happen until after Christ dies. Christ has not died in this universe yet. Religion is not really a big thing yet, but it will be soon. And before this video ends, there will be there will be 3 more countries joining in on the Triangle and Circle Alliance. Let's name the people who are going to join the circles. The people who are going to join the circles is the new kind of Libyan, Algerian, Mediterranean country, and this Morocco country. You'll see why it's called Morocco soon. And finally, we see the African country join in on the Triangle Alliance, and we see Egypt join in on the Triangle Alliance. But that is going to do it for this video. Episode 9 is going to be the last episode before the War of Empires breaks out. The War of Empires will be released tomorrow, February 6th of 2025, and it will be the biggest event and the biggest war this timeline will ever see. It could even be classified as the First World War. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you later. Goodbye.